When I was 12 years old, I dropped out of high school. So I didn't even go through my second year of high school because I remember being very sick and bored of school. So I told my mom, hey, I want to drop out for a year. Well, long story short, I never went back because COVID started around that time and I didn't want to take online classes. So eventually, I was just at home all day. I was inside and I was just wasting a lot of time playing video games, to be honest, because I didn't really know what else to do. But then eventually, maybe after like a year, I bought my graphic tablet and I started to just draw for fun. I would draw every now and then, maybe every 2 years, I would grab like a pen and I would try drawing, doodling something, but I wasn't really good at it and I wasn't very serious. But I started taking it very seriously this time. And again, I would be like 14 years old. So, I wasn't even studying. I wasn't working. I was just playing some video games and drawing for like basically all day. I wasn't even leaving the house. And you actually know what happened. Like, in some way, I was feeling quite guilty or quite like kind of dirty inside because I was just wasting a lot of time. I was like actually like locked inside of my room without any like sunlight or anything. I was just playing video games, going to bed at like 9 a.m. I was going to sleep at 9 a.m. and I was waking up at like 6. And the first thing that I would do is just play video games. I wouldn't even eat for like whole days, and when I would eat, I would eat some bullshit like pizza or some takeaways. My life was just really a mess. But I really think that I had to go through that in order for me to grow and get better, because fast forward a few years later, I started to take very good care of myself. I started to exercise. I started to eat very clean. I started to learn a lot. Like I was still, I didn't go to school or anything, or even got a job. Like I might have gotten a few jobs here and there, but my focus, like the most, or basically the only consistent thing that stuck with me all these years was art and drawing. And I was very passionate about, like, I wasn't doing it for clout or money because, of course, even drawing doesn't, like, it's not a very sexy thing to do, it's not like something, yeah, I'm an artist and, you'll get a hundred women, like, chasing you all day. But it was just something very personal that I would do for fun. And I would be even very hesitant to share my art with people because I was, like, very, like, scared of judgment. And it was just something that I decided to just keep to myself. I would just drawing and doing a lot of studies of other artists just for fun, or doing some random paintings. When I would go on trips, I would just bring my laptop, like my entire laptop with my tablet and everything, and I would just draw there because it was just like what made sense. Eventually I stopped playing video games, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that. But of course, you eventually gotta find a way of make money, whether it's from art or whether it's from like a shitty 9 to 5 job, whatever it is. Because even if you decided to go through the path of university and actually like spending years and years of your life just studying a dumb career that you don't even like, you still have to find a fucking job, which, honestly, I didn't want to find a job. I just wanted to draw all day. So, I knew there was just like one, like an only feasible option for me. And it was to somehow turn this into my job. Not because, I necessarily wanted to make money because of this, my motivation for drawing was never to make money. But I said, if I want to make this full time, I might as well just give it a shot and stuff. So eventually I started to learn about the concept of making money online. And, I realized, well, you can, like, this is something that I can actually do. It's not impossible, and I don't have to like work a shitty job because I don't want to pretend that I would do. Like, my family were kind of trying to push me into working a shitty job, and in some way because of their bias, with the excuse that it was like it was gonna be like a life experience. Yeah, it might have been like a life experience, and it might have developed me in some way. But I didn't want that fucking personal development. I prefer the life experience of being an artist and going through the trials and tribulations of having a pair of balls and doing what I want. And, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm still in the process of making like a decent living out of art. Maybe right now I'm not quite where I want to be in terms of financial freedom, but I'm definitely going in the right direction. I'm getting there, and I will eventually, well, achieve that goal because, not because, oh yeah, I'm greedy or some shit, but because, bro, I just want to focus in my purpose, in my goal, without having any external distractions. And honestly, my heart goes out to the people who have to work a shitty job, who are also very ambitious artists, or the people who were forced to like study in university and they don't have a lot of time to draw. And this video, I wanted it to be like a little bit of inspiration, or at least like just me telling the type of people who would like to make a living out of art, or who, feel kind of frustrated because they can't, or because they have to do something else and leave other people's life because they don't have another choice, like working a shitty job, or maybe your parents force you to study this random career or something. And I just want to spread the message that it is very possible, especially right now you have a lot of possibilities because of the internet. And, it was definitely hard to make money out of the thing that you like 20, 30 years ago. So right now we are definitely at a very good moment if you want to be financially free, doing whatever you want, whilst fulfilling your life purpose at the same time. And also helping people in the process, of course. I find that to be very purposeful, and you're actually doing something that contributes to humanity. And also the thing is, it really takes a lot of courage to do this. Even after especially after you know that you can make money online by doing anything, it takes courage to take the right path, the honest and the real path that is truly authentic and fulfilling to you, instead of doing some like random business that makes you like a parasite, or making a living online. But instead of being an artist and a teacher and being a wholesome person, you make a fucking OnlyFans or some random shit. Or you make a living doing drop shipping, which is just reselling like crappy items from China. And it's just like, and I had this realization the other day that I was on Instagram. Like, I'm trying to not use Instagram. I'm trying not to scroll. But, sometimes it happens and I ended up like accidentally scrolling on Instagram. And a lot of like, because I have a very like fresh algorithm, I don't really use Instagram that much. Instagram was just showing me the popular stuff that people normally see, like normal people see there. And I saw a lot of like women in there. And I'm not stupid. I know that girls having like OnlyFans and promoting that on social media is not new, but I was honestly so like disappointed in with fucking everyone when I was scrolling there, because every now and then Instagram would show me like the profiles of some like random girl and cosplayer. And I would see like, just by looking at her face, even if it was like a normal picture, I could just see through her eyes that she had a fucking OnlyFans. And 9 times out of 10, I was right. And so you end up clicking on her profile and you can see the links there. And I remember being very like shocked, because there's nothing stopping any woman from doing this. Even if you're an ugly woman, like I don't want to encourage this or anything or sound like offensive, but even if you're an ugly woman, you can make like minimum $3,000, $5,000 a month making an OnlyFans, like posting pictures of your ass and stuff. And I found it so disappointing, but at the same time I was like, whoa, like there are some like girls in this case who have the opportunity to make an OnlyFans, even if they're very young. Like even better, holy shit, like that's even worse. And they don't, because they actually have dignity. And because when you look at the profile of these girls, like nobody's going to be proud, or nobody's going to tell you proudly that, yeah, I am an OnlyFans creator. These people have to lie about their job. And they have to say, oh yeah, I'm a cosplayer, I'm a content creator, because nobody's going to say, yeah, I'm an online prostitute. I sell pictures, like anyone in the world can see me naked for $5 a month. Nobody's going to say that proudly, And honestly, even if you're a male, you can still make money through OnlyFans. That's kind of obvious, right? So for example, I've been going to the gym for like almost half a decade, so I have a very nice and sexy physique. There's nothing stopping me right now from creating an OnlyFans and selling pictures of myself, and I would be making an easy like minimum $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Like, I was actually surprised. Like, I found a profile on Reddit like a few months ago, and I haven't forgot about this. It was a trans woman, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole here. I don't want to sound offensive or anything, but she was really ugly. Like, it was a very ugly woman that you can tell that you can tell it was a man beforehand. And she was making $3,000 a month on OnlyFans. And from that point, like, my perspective of making money online and like this type of OnlyFans and all of these random evil business changed completely, right? Because I realized that this was the modern day version of selling your soul to the devil. It is Like, literally the same thing. This is something that you just can't defend. Nobody's gonna say proudly, yeah, I'm an OnlyFans model. Maybe a very broken person, maybe like the top OnlyFans models who keep making a lot of money and they don't even have to do this anymore. They're just doing it for the love of the game. And at that moment, I remember I had this thought in my mind. I remember thinking, I prefer living on the streets and, I don't know, sleeping on the grass in nature somewhere and selling drawings on paper, like crappy drawings to people outside, than selling my dignity and, you know, even making a good living. Like, for me, that's no different from making a deal with the devil. Like, these are just my values, and I know this probably, like, this video is gonna be very, like, controversial and everything, but the reason why I'm making this is because, you know, especially right now, I see a lot of people every day I see people making tens of thousands of dollars through AI slop or OnlyFans or like very shitty and evil business models, you know? Like people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month by posting like AI faceless channels and this type of stuff. And it always feels a little tempting, you know, to leave your current path, your authentic and real path, to just for the sake of fulfilling these materialistic needs and thinking that it's going to make you better. Because, you know, I think you reach a point where you have so much money that you simply stop caring. It's like money doesn't excite you anymore, and the only thing you're left with is the fact that you've sold your fucking soul to the devil, and you gotta keep doing this. Like, you're already used to having money, but now you have to get used to posting your ass online for $5 for anyone in the world to see. That is really fucked, if you ask me. And even if I'm not making a lot of money right now, I know I will eventually, but I'm so happy that I don't have to lie to people about my job. Like, if anyone asks me, oh, what do you do? And not even for like ego or anything, but you know, it's way better if you have to talk about your job to not having to lie about it and say, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, I help people, I'm an artist, than to say, yeah, I'm a content creator, I'm a cosplayer. That is bullshit, and we all know it. Like, basically every single cosplayer right now has an OnlyFans, and that is really that is fucked. Nobody does that for like just for the love of the game, or very few people do, at least. Or the people who post like Roblox content for children, or like, you know, this type of evil brain rot for children. Grown men talking like fucking retards to appeal to little kids. And they post on Instagram. This is always funny. Every time you go to like the profiles of these people who make like brain rot content, like the most obnoxious content that you can ever think of, they are on Instagram posing next to their supercars with the fucking watch and everything, talking about being a high value man and making money. And I just find that to be so sad. And, you know, especially also the people who obsess too much over money and stuff, because that is such a waste of time. That is such a distraction. Not to make money, not to make a lot of money, but to pursue that as your main thing, as your full-time thing, is just to make money, and that is your goal. That is your only like score in life. You realize that there's so much more to this. There's so much more to life than chasing these materialistic things. Because when you optimize for pursuing your materialistic needs and cravings, you end up doing stupid shit like making an OnlyFans, or the people who make like AI generated like OnlyFans models. This video is just a reminder for myself, maybe to organize my ideas a little bit and to, I don't know, have some accountability and remind myself to just always continue on the right path, and also to encourage other people to do the same. Like, I don't like seeing the world be like this. I don't want seeing like young women or young men doing like selling their fucking soul just to make money. I actually want people to thrive, and I want to see more artists. I want to see more creators who are actually doing like something good and they are actually helping other people. Anyways, this was all for today's video. If you want to talk to me personally and hop on video calls and stuff, you can just check the link in the description. Goodbye.